to the Gransberry Chronicles Weekly Pick'em. It's week 3, and I'm your girl Gransberry, and I'm back for more. On your right, I got my boy D Jones, and on your left, I got my boy Coach B Pat. We ready? Okay, I was slightly ahead in week 2, but I dropped. You know, the guys went for it on Thursday night, and they took the faithful in Mayfield. I tried the rookie. I bet. I lost. It's okay. But we're excited to say we're still above 70% on our picks. So I'm going to try to do better this week. I mean, I'm 2 against 1. I know y'all want your girl to win, right? I mean, that's what we really want. Oh, we don't? We don't, D Jones?
Nah, ain't no favoritism.
You know. So, before we get into the pick'ems, we got to give a shout out about, week 2. Did you feel the love in that Sunday night football game? Was it everything that you was looking for? I mean, we talked about it as the game of the week, and I feel like it delivered. Definitely. What about you, D Jones?
Definitely delivered. Going through at the last second down to the wire. You really didn't know. They wasn't stopping Cam in that 1 yard run all night. Then all of a sudden, they came up with the big stop. So it was definitely didn't disappoint.
Yeah, I mean, so Brandon, what were you thinking about? Not that it was important this week, but the Texans have had to have that 4th and goal stop to save the win. My energy was going back to that game for myself between Texans and Jacksonville. But what did you feel in that moment? Who did you want to get it more? Even though we all picked the Seahawks, did you want your pick or did you want to see Cam get that win?
I wanted to see Cam get that win. The whole game, he was just on fire. Russell was going back and forth. It was like a heavyweight fight. And Cam tried to go for his big punch. Got stopped.
I like how you said that he was trying to go for his fight. That's a good way to sum it up. So, guys, let's get ready. Let's move into week 3. Thursday night football. It's not the highlight that everybody thinks they want, but it's turned out that it's probably going to be a more exciting game than we anticipated before the season started. Jacksonville is definitely not throwing in the towel to this season. Their whole energy is still alive and fighting. I got to give it to the team. I love it when a team puts all their effort on the field. And once again, we don't know if we're going to get Fitzpatrick or Fitzmagic, but we know there's a Fitz. So, I think I might give it to Jacksonville. They're at home. It's their energy. They've already had fans in the stadium, so they're kind of ready to go and they're in a groove. They look like a team, more than what some things have been going like. So I'm going to give it to Jacksonville. What you think, B?
I'm going with Jacksonville as well. The fans are going to be live. They already had a couple of fans last week, as you said. They also have the little Daly's place right next to it where they have a bunch of fans in there too. But Minshew is actually playing better than I thought he would. But I'm going with Jacksonville in this one.
Okay, D Jones, what's your take?
So I've been pretty impressed with what we've seen from Jacksonville. Even my comment in week 1, they've put up a fight in both the first 2 weeks and looked pretty impressive. I was disappointed that Miami didn't kind of pull through last week, even though I picked against them. I'm going with Miami this week. I think Fitz will show up, and I like what the coach. They play hard for the coach. They just seem to come up short every now and then. So I'm gonna roll with Miami. I'll go solo.
Okay, we'll go solo then. It's all good. So let's move right on into our next game. It's Chicago versus Atlanta. Well, I don't think we're going to talk about this long because obviously we always have love for Chicago because they definitely picked Trubisky before and left Deshaun on the table to land right to the Texans. So thank you again, Chicago, every chance I get. Have a toast for me or a hot dog, whatever makes you happy. But we know that we will never, ever be picking the Falcons anytime soon for anything. After that debacle on Sunday, I don't think, they already did it in the Super Bowl. You try to give them a fresh start. But then how many 20-point games do you really want to blow? I'm going Chicago. I'm done talking about it. So, D. Jones, you got anything for me?
I struggled with this one.
Struggle. It's a struggle.
because it's hard for me to pick Chicago. Um, but after Atlanta, I disrespected Russ week one. Atlanta just let the whole state of Texas down because except for that one little small place that cares about them other boys. I'm going with Atlanta.
Okay, they gonna redeem themselves. They gonna
I,
remember what an
I
onside
don't
kick
even
look
know.
like. Okay,
I don't even know, but I'm just gonna go with Atlanta. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. Just
okay. I want to pick Atlanta because they're at home and redemption. I just think Chicago may have a little bit better coaching. I mean, from a standpoint of Trubisky sometimes gets in his own way, but the coaching seems to be there with the plays, the flow of the game. I don't know what the coach was saying to his team in Atlanta because I don't know how everybody failed to know that just get on the ball. So get on the ball, Coach Patton. Tell us what's your take? What you been doing?
I'm actually agreeing with D Jones on this
Okay,
one.
I'm going
Because
solo.
reason why I say that is because Chicago and the Giants game last week was just it was boring. So I just think Atlanta is going to come back with some type of fire. Julio Jones might be questionable because of the hamstring, but um, I think Atlanta is going to win this one. I don't know about the rest of the season, but this one going to be.
Okay. Oh, okay. That was interesting. All right. This next matchup I'm kind of looking forward to. It's the Rams, LA Rams against Buffalo. I think this is going to be a really good battle. At least that's what I'm expecting. But Buffalo's at home, and I'm gonna give it to Buffalo. So what's your take, G? All right, give it to me, D.
this is going to be close. Buffalo is favored only by 2 at home. The Rams have been playing very well. Buffalo's been playing very well. Um, I think the difference in this game is going to come down to the young quarterback in Buffalo. I think he's versatile enough with he knows when to run. He picks up chunk yards. Again, I'll echo. I think he did better with ball security this past week. As long as he's not turning the ball over, I think they'll have a slight edge. So I'm gonna hinge this one on Buffalo on the back of the young quarterback. What you say, B?
I'm gonna go ahead with Buffalo as well. Josh Allen is getting better. He's getting less reckless by every game. I think Diggs is also helping them. I'm just gonna go with Buffalo. I think this is gonna be a close game because both teams are actually pretty decently matched up, in my opinion. But I just think Josh Allen's legs are going to be a big factor in this.
Yeah.
I agree. So our next game up is Washington versus Cleveland. I don't really have much to say other than I'm going with Cleveland since I didn't last week. But no, that's not why I'm going with them. But I'm going with Cleveland. So Brandon,
I'm going with Cleveland.
D.
Sweet Cleveland on this
All
one.
right, we're gonna roll on out of Ohio. So next we have the Tennessee Titans, and then we have the Minnesota Vikings. Oh, that was kind of interesting, right? Okay, no.
Yeah,
All right,
a little bit.
my joke went flat. But
It's okay.
anyway, so I think I will actually try to give it to the home team this week. I'm actually wanting the home team to win, but I'm thinking it'll be a good look for the Vikings at home. They haven't exactly been playing bad. Uh, the Tennessee has been playing some tight games toward the end, which whenever it's a tight game for them toward the end, I am going to edge with Tennessee, but I'm going to give the Vikings coaching just the coaching is about equal to me. Two good coaches. And I think that they're going to both be prepared. So the edge out for me will be the Vikings. I'm hoping it's at least like a 10-point game because, like I said, anything close, the table's going to flip. D, what's up?
Um, I'm also going with the Vikings on this one. The Vikings are similar to our Texans. We Texans fans, but you never know which team's going to show up every week, and that's kind of their problem. They played pretty well against Green Bay week one. Until the second half, it kind of got away from them, but they still had good offense. They still was moving the ball. Last week they struggled, getting going in Indy. I think they'll bounce back this week at home. Tennessee's been playing well, but like you say, every game it's been kind of close. I don't think this one is going to be as close. I think it's on. Tennessee is actually a 2.5 point favorite, but I think the Vikings will probably win by like a touchdown.
B.
This is gonna hurt my feelings. I'm gonna go with Tennessee. I'm flying solo on this one. I just think Derrick Henry is gonna have a big game, and then if they let this game be close, it's gonna be a field goal kick at the end. And Tennessee has their identity, so I'm gonna go with Tennessee. It hurts my heart, just hurts my spirit.
It didn't hurt your heart hard enough. You still picked them. I
I
mean, you
know,
you in
but
this
hey,
field goal thing.
I'm
Oh,
I'm going. Hey, Tennessee has been winning some close games, and I just think this is just gonna spill over one more week, maybe next week. I don't know, but I just think Tennessee is just gonna win this game.
okay, well, look, the next game up is something really exciting, but I think Pop Carlisle's exciting too. They have awesome popcorn flavors. I'm sorry. Me and my boy D Jones, we love this popcorn. This is not a upsell to use a code. This is me sharing something I love. This is something I stand behind and believe in. So look, catch it anytime at the Gransberry with a code 25% off at Pop Carlisle website. It's open 24 hours. You need to have this on Sundays. So look, get your orders in now so you can be ready for week 4. Now, I think you need your popcorn for this next matchup. It's actually Las Vegas versus New England. And I know people are probably like, why do you say that, Gransberry? Well, look, Vegas put us on notice on Monday night that they coming to play. And as a matter of fact, we said they were coming ready to play in week 1 and they didn't disappoint in week 2. Or 3. So at this point, for week 3. So at this point, I'm ready for them in week 3. And I think Belichick is ready to get a win. He lost a close one. He usually comes back with a little of vengeance. We kind of know his coaching style. He's pretty good at picking apart teams. I think he's going to make it a little harder on the Raiders. I expect a close game, but I still edge out Belichick. They're at home, the energy, he's comfortable. It looks like he's very comfortable with Cam under center. He's running plays that suit him best. And so I'm going to edge out New England on this one, but I expect a really good game. D?
I agree. I think it's going to be a good game. I think Las Vegas is definitely rounding their identity into shape. Jacobs looks great running the ball. I think that's taking the pressure off of Carr. But New England is still chugging along with Cam. Cam looks like he's been in that system, for years because they basically tailored it around what he does best. So I love what I'm seeing out of Cam in New England. And even though they had so many defensive players not play for COVID, they still been playing pretty good as well. I'm going to go with New England at home.
B, round us out.
Make it 3 for 3. I'm going for New England. Going with New England. I'm sorry. Uh, I just think Cam has found his niche with the team, and I just think Belichick knows how to scheme up a team defensively. He could put a turtle out there and he'll scheme it up. So I'm going with New England.
A turtle. So, like speed or like soup. I wasn't really sure how to follow that one.
He didn't have no speed when he had those linebackers. Some of those linebackers with Brewski and Teddy, they weren't the fastest. They were the smartest IQ wise, and he just knows how to pick the greatest IQ and just use them.
He puts you in a position to be successful with what
right.
you do well. So
no matter how much you hate how he does it, he just gets it done.
I don't think there's that many people that hate how he does it. So it's only when your team is playing against him do you hate how he does it.
Yes.
So I think that's once every now and then, right? Any other time we looking for it. We were looking for it Sunday night. So the next game we won't spend too much time on. Unfortunately, both teams suffered injuries this past week, and it's the San Francisco versus New York Giants. Our hearts go out to Saquon and, as much as well to Bosa. But I think that the San Francisco team is still a more united front to still beat the Giants, even with all of the injuries, the uncertainty surrounded by them. I think they have a little bit more consistency and dependability. New York really has no identity except Saquon, and now he's not playing. So I'm going with San Francisco. D?
Yeah, like they lost a lot in San Francisco, but they still have a lot. So I think with the Giants, I like them picking up Freeman this week, but I'm not sure if he's going to be ready to really go 100% within their offense. And they also got Sterling Shepard down, so their receiving core is a little bit down. I'm gonna go with San Fran. They are road favorite by 4. I think they'll definitely cover that and take the win.
B?
I'm going with San Francisco. I just don't trust Daniel Jones.
Oh,
Period.
okay. Well, we're calling out the QBs. And let's roll right along talking about QBs. We got Philly versus the rookie in Cincy. I mean, Cincy, you played a good game for me last week. You came up short. I think you still might be on the short end of the stick this week. Philly might hold it together just a little bit more. Not because I think Philly's that great, just because I think they're probably going to have a little bit more to give on defense than Cincy does. I think that's part of Cincy's problem. They just don't have it right now. So there's not much they can do. They don't have the Belichick mind to scheme it up, as B said earlier. So I'm riding with the home team, Philly, on this one. What you got for me, Coach?
I'm going with Philly this week. Philly needs to win in the worst way for right now. Whether it's Wentz, whoever at quarterback, whether it's the wide receivers, it doesn't matter. They need a win. So I believe Philly's going to win this one.
D Jones, what's your take?
B took the words out of my mouth. They need a win in the worst way, so I'm laying the Philly. We can keep moving.
Well, talk about needing a win in the worst way. We got Houston versus Pittsburgh. And you know what? My team needs a win in the worst way. So, in order for them to get that win, I got to start with saying I support you to get that win. So, I'm going to pick you. Not because I liked the way you played this past Sunday, but because I did see things I liked on Sunday. And I'm hoping that those things I liked on Sunday and then those things I liked in pick week 1 can be in the same game and give me a greater outcome. I don't expect a high scoring game, but I do expect our defense to come strong. I know Pittsburgh has been playing some awesome defense. I just think that this is an opportunity for us to match up well. We have a good offense. We just need to execute it. So I think this is a chance to get a win in the worst way. D Jones, talk to me. Deep breath. Oh no.
The things that I liked the last couple of weeks is what's going to keep us in this game or keep the Texans in this game this week. However, until I see more consistency on the offensive end, whether it be coaching, whether it be QB play, whether it be whatever, I'm going to go with Pittsburgh to win this at home. They're a slight favorite, 4-point favorite. But I just need to see which Texans team is going to show up and what type of identity they're going to have before I start really picking them to win games. What you say, B?
I am going to pick Pittsburgh in this game. With all the bullet points that you hit just now, the Texans offense has to be a little bit more consistent. I just think Pittsburgh right now defensively, and it's going to be a little bit better against the Texans offense. And Ben knows his scheme right now. Texans, identity is all over the place offensively, and that's one of my biggest worries.
Agreed.
I know y'all worried, whatever.
Look at the look.
Yeah, it was a look of disgust, but
look at the look.
You know what? I'm still picking the Texans, but I will say that I think also having a defensive lead like Watt, who is familiar with Ben to a certain extent of being able to play him, I think those things will help. I got our guys. I'm actually looking at more of a defensive game to help us pull out that win. And I already said who I plan on winning, but whatever. So let's move on to another game. In New York Jets versus the Colts. I don't really have much to say except I got to go with the AFC South in this one. I think the Colts can hold enough of their own to pull out the win. Sometimes Rivers act like he in an ocean and he can throw to anybody, and then sometimes he act like he in a pond and his ball go flat to the other team. So I'm still going to roll with the Colts, even with all of that. So what about you, Coach?
I'm going with Indy. I just without the Jets, not having Le'Veon Bell, they have to depend on Frank Gore. It's a running back, and Sam Darnold has yet to have that one big game since the last big game he had. So,
Well,
uh,
dang.
I'm
I
gonna
understand.
I'm gonna go ahead with Indy in this one.
Yeah, this is gonna be a clean sweep with the three of us. I'm going Indy as well. They heavily favored by 10.5.
Ooh.
Yeah, so no respect for the Jets at all. So I don't even know if they coach gonna make it through the season. So
That's true.
we'll just leave it at that.
Okay, and rolling on back to LA, we have Carolina versus the Chargers. I have to take a second and, extend my wishes and well wishes to Tyrod Taylor, such an unfortunate incident. And at the same time, with a rookie quarterback, people, get excited about energy. We've been in that position of seeing a rookie quarterback just thrown into the fire. It wasn't under injury, but it still was the same fire. I'm not really sure in a full week of prep that I would say that a more poised Teddy and even with a new coach can't come into LA and find their way to a win. For the most part, Carolina had a slow start last week, but I'm still looking at their offenses moving. So I think they can go on the road this week, even this long flight to LA, and pick up a win on the way back. Just because of the changes that are going on right now. Like I said, when you try to have to scheme for a rookie quarterback, he hasn't been in training camp as the number one on a short week. I just think that Teddy should be more comfortable with his team and offense, that they should be able to put up more points. So I'm going with Carolina. D.
Uh, I think Carolina's going to miss Christian McCaffrey a lot. I
Okay.
mean, you're talking about a heavy part of their offense, passing the ball and running the ball. That takes a lot of pressure off of Teddy. All of the pressure is going to be on Teddy and that rookie head coach this week. I don't see him beating the Chargers. I think the Chargers definitely win this game. Herbert looked very, very good thrown into the fire against the the Super Bowl champion Chiefs. They should have won that game, but Chiefs showed up just in time. Um, but I like what I saw from the Chargers, and I'm gonna take them this week.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I hear you on the run game, but remember, Teddy just got there, so he ain't been the one that's been dependent on McCaffrey. That's the only reason why I still said he could hold his own. But okay, B, talk
We're
to
gonna
me.
see.
We're going to see. We're going to see.
I'm going with the Chargers with this one.
Well, charge out.
I mean, I'm just saying I'm going with the Chargers. I just don't. I mean, they don't. They don't give Teddy a chance to like move the offense. I mean, there was a couple of third and ones and fourth and ones in the two games prior, and they just handed it off to McCaffrey. The whole world knows you were handing it off to McCaffrey. And I think the other one was like they tried to give it to a fullback. Come on now. So I'm just gonna go ahead, just on coaching alone. I'm going with the Chargers.
But they ain't gonna have no choice this week. They're gonna have to give.
Yarn.
They're gonna have to give it to him. But I'm.
They
Right.
don't have
But we'll see.
no
We'll see
choice.
what that looks like.
We'll see. Hope your phone go
Preach.
dead. Anyway, moving on to Tampa Bay versus Denver. Well, I'm not gonna talk about this long. I think Tampa Bay can get this done, even though they're headed into Mile High. I think it'll be Mile Low based on there's a lot going on with injuries in Denver, and I just think that there's enough cohesive unit working down in Tampa Bay that they'll get their second win. What's up, Coach?
I'm going with Tampa. even though Denver gave Pittsburgh a hard time last week, I'm just gonna go with Brady. I think Brady's gonna get his groove in a little bit. I wish he would go throw the Gronk a little bit more because I got him on my fantasy team. But uh,
Nobody cares.
I got him too.
Absolutely nobody cares.
I'm going with Tampa. Just along Brady, and I just think Bruce Arians is gonna got the team the way he wants it to at least win, go on a nice little winning streak.
All right, Derek, tell me
I'm,
what you think.
I'm going Tampa as well. I think Denver's going to miss the quarterback. They've just been hit by the injury bug. They already lost a couple of solid defensive players. Now they lose their quarterback and their number one receiver. And Sutton was hurt, and then he tried to give it a go, and now he's basically gone for the year. So I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay on this
All right, next up we got the Lions, Detroit versus Arizona. Ooh, it's a weird pick. I mean, I don't really know what's in Detroit. I don't. They're like confusing to me. I don't know who shows up. I'm still confused on who to pick. Obviously, Murray and Hop having good connections. He's still working well with Fitzgerald. So they're a team. I don't know what I don't know what Detroit is at this point. So I think this is an opportunity for Arizona to be 3-0. So D Jones, I'm just gonna have to go with 3-0 at this point.
one. Yeah, Detroit's just one of those teams. I expect the wrong thing to show up, and I'm surprised when the right thing does happen for them. So uh, Arizona 3-0 this week.
Yeah. Brandon.
Arizona 3-0.
All right, now let's get up to our lucky winners. If everything can fall your way, if everything can fall your way, you must be from D Town. You must be from D Town. D Town follows it up this week with a big matchup headed into Seattle. I don't think Seattle's going to fail to fall on the ball on an onside kick. So D Town going to have to come out a little stronger than they did playing the Falcons. I'm not really sure what happened. Unfortunately, it's one of those weird games, right? Like
Yeah.
the quarterback was holding it together. He didn't actually turn over the ball at all, but they were behind. The Atlanta didn't turn over the ball at all, period, and still lost. But I don't think that that's going to happen in Seattle. I think Seattle is on a rock and roll into 3 wins, win, win, win. All they do is win. Derek and I took a trip there when Houston played Seattle, and that song hit a little different when they played it in their arena. It's like it's that stadium just gets to rocking when they start talking about all they do is win. It's like I still hear the song right now, like I was there. So I think it's gonna be just the same way. They missed their 12s, but they're a very solid team playing at home with or without fans, apparently. And so I just think D Town is coming in town with the right motivation. They got a win under their belt. They can feel comfortable. We all know if that had been their old coach, we would have had any doubt that they would have lost the game.
Mm-mm.
So they got that belief in their coach and support system. But I think Seattle got a little bit more for them on the field. So I'm going with Seattle. I'm going with Seattle. D Jones, what you think, my boy?
One correction: Dak did have a turnover. He just didn't have a pick. He started all the turnovers with a fumble, but he did.
Okay, my bad. I just didn't count it as my picks. My bad.
It didn't count as an interception, but they played well. Like you say, even with that fumble, Dak had a hell of a game.
Right.
Seattle won't make the mistakes that Atlanta made late. And Seattle is rolling. So I think they keep their momentum, and I pick Seattle on this game.
B, talk to me.
I guarantee you, Seattle would cover and they would cover an onside kick. I guarantee you they would.
I was like, we doing guarantees?
We're doing guarantee. Lock of the week.
No, but with that being said, Dallas showed me a little bit of something. I didn't expect that out of them. Once they were down, I just, but then again, it was Atlanta. So, but I'm still gonna go with Seattle. the even the piped in noise with the 12s is just as loud as anybody else. So I'm gonna go with Seattle on this one.
Okay, and now we move into our next matchup, which is Sunday night football. I'm gonna let somebody else go last because we'll see why. We got Green Bay versus New Orleans in New Orleans. Now, New Orleans just lost a tough one on Monday Night Football. They looked a little shaky to me. Um, I'm not really sure I expect that in, week 3. But what I do expect is, Aaron Rodgers to show up still on fire. I mean, he is like, it's like you want to say he like the comeback player, but I mean, he never left, but it's like something he's locked in. He is locked in. And, we talked about Green Bay being one of those teams that doesn't always pick the top flashy player that we think of from college, but they've really got some exciting things going on in Green Bay. And so, Brandon, I'm gonna start with you because I know my boy wants to talk about his other team, and so I'm picking his other team to win. And I'm gonna go to you, B. What's your take?
First of all, let me ask Derek this: um, is Adams playing this week?
Today they were saying he's questionable. I think he said that he might not play because of his hamstring.
Okay, so you got Adams possibly being out. Thomas
Mm.
is going to be out. Hmm. But they still have Kamara. I'm going to go with New Orleans in this one.
Okay.
By close game.
What's a close game? Is it a field goal again?
I don't know just yet. But both quarterbacks are going to bring it. And if it's anything like the Seattle New England game last week, Sunday night football is going to be in the Monday night football this week is going to be a treat. But I'm just going to go with New Orleans in this one.
Okay, talk to me, fan.
I'll keep it simple. I think this is going to be a great game. The only thing that concerns me about New Orleans, I like New Orleans. I like Sean Payton, and Kamara is a beast. Thomas being out is a concern, but those boys seem like they keep finding receivers. This Smith guy, I'm like, who is this guy catching everything that Drew throws his way? But Drew is also showing his age a little bit. I'll go with you, T, when you say Aaron Rodgers he's on a roll. I told you he would be motivated this year after they picked Love in the first round and didn't have to. So I think they continue. I think it'll be a close game. I think it's definitely going to be a good game. I don't think we're going to be disappointed by what we see Sunday night and going into Monday. But this was a contender for our game of the week. I expect to be close, but I'll take Green Bay to ride.
Yeah, I do too. It's just that arm, man. I mean, when you start talking about the age thing, but just shout out to Green Bay's fans. They were very awesome to Derek and I on our trip. My car got stuck in the snow and the fans pushed it out.
Yep.
Your girl lost her wallet. Her entire wallet, all my credit cards, my ID, everything. I have to take a moment to give them a shout out for this because I went to the restroom and people literally stopped in the restroom and start looking under stalls to help me look for my wallet, then told me to go to Lost and Found. And do you know it was at Lost and Found? And not only was it there, they apologized for going through my wallet to find my ID to put my name on the package to give me back my wallet. I mean, you could not ask for better fans.
Yeah,
and like I said, great trip. The game, it still was a great game, but we didn't win. But I just have to give that shout out to their fans because they went above and beyond that day. And I am forever grateful. I didn't have to change any of my credit card information. Everything was good. I just kept rolling. And to this day, I still had 2 of those cards. So I know my people in Green Bay are good people. So Moving on to our game of the week. So fitting that it's the last game. And I am ready for this matchup. You know, we've had some awesome matchups week 1, 2, and now 3. So we had Mahomes and Watson. Then we had Jackson and Watson. And now we get Mahomes and Jackson. These are awesome AFC quarterbacks. What a turn of events. So Monday night, guys. Ooh, we got Lamar's speed. We got Mahomes' arm. I mean, it's like, oh, I still haven't really picked. I'm going to hold my pick and I'm going to turn it to you guys. D, tell me what you see for Monday night.
Monday night, I'm excited for Monday night. So basically, I want to see this matchup in the worst way. I love these two young quarterbacks. This is probably one of the if the only game that I expect Kansas City to be an underdog in. Baltimore is favored by 3.5 in this game. That surprises me. I thought it was going to be one of those coin flips, maybe two, maybe one, but
It can
three
still
and a
move.
half. Yeah, and it probably will. It depends on what kind of movement they get in Vegas. I'm going with Kansas City. I think Kansas City um, struggled last week against the Chargers just because, again, you had a quarterback you really wasn't prepared for. You wasn't sure how he was going to play versus Tyrod Taylor was playing. That kind of took him off guard defensively. The offense, San Diego knows them very, very well, and they was able to get pressure on Mahomes. I expect Baltimore to also get pressure on Mahomes, but I think Kansas City pulls this out. I think that offense is just going to be a tad bit too much for them to kind of cover. So that's me. Kansas City.
B, talk to me.
Kansas City. Kansas City showed they can win in different styles, different ways. Buckner, the kicker, I mean, he's got a leg of gold, kick from 58 yards 3 times in a row after what time penalty, timeout, penalty, or timeouts. It doesn't matter. He did it 3 times in a row. And then not to mention that he kicked the 58 yarder earlier in the game.
Yeah.
So this is one of my field goal specials. I think Kansas City's gonna get that field goal. But it's gonna be a whole if it's anything like it was uh, um, back and forth going. If it's anything like that, I cannot wait to see this game. I mean, it's clash of different styles. Quarterbacks love their system. They have identity and know what they want to do offensively and identity they want to do defensively. I can't wait to see this game Monday night, but I'm gonna go with Kansas City.
So I am going to roll with the guys. So we're ending off with all of us in agreement again with the last game of the week. And I'll tell you why. One of my biggest reasons is that, you know, the sparks that I did see last week for the Houston versus Baltimore game was some of the defensive stops. And so it's very possible to get a good control at times on Baltimore's offense. You know, we were holding them to field goals on, you know, long field possessions. Is when you had the short fields that you found yourself in a little bit more of trouble. And so I think with Kansas City having a more unified core in their defense, they would handle that a little bit better than we did. You know, we do have a new coordinator. We've changed some serious pieces up front on the front seven that are gone. And so I think that matched up with the way that if you're watching film, that it's possible to change up the way the Baltimore offense can look. If you change up what Lamar is able to do, you immediately change their offense. Whereas when you think on the other side of the Chiefs, they have so many different options that if you don't force Mahomes to hold on to the ball, anybody is fair game to get it. So, you know, I'm going with Kansas City to give Baltimore their first loss of the season, an exciting game for all of us on Monday night and to end the week gracefully. So as we end our week talking about the games, we're now at the end of our show. We want to thank you for joining us. If this is your first time listening and watching an episode, please catch us every week because we're taking every game from top to bottom. I want to thank my boy again. B, tell the people where they can find you before we leave.
Twitter and IG, Coach B Pat. Facebook is Brandon Patterson.
All right, Brandon Patterson, since you want to get that full name out there, I'm going to roll on over here and tell my boy D Jones, thank you for joining us. I see you wearing your other team. I'm going to let it slide this time because they are Sunday Night Football. But D Jones, tell the people where to find you.
You can find me on IG at djones9804 or Facebook Derek Jones. Holla at your boy.
Well, it's your girl, the Gransberry, always at thegransberry.com. I'm on Twitter, the Gransberry, Instagram, the Gransberry, Facebook, the Gransberry. If you can't find the Gransberry, then you're not looking right or you're not spelling right because it's like berry, sweet strawberry, that is. So I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.